Before Rome, before Greece, before the pyramids, there was a civilization that taught humanity how to write, how to think, how to ask why. Welcome to Eternal Philosophies. Today we're traveling to ancient Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization, where wisdom was born on clay tablets. Meso meaning between, Potamia meaning rivers. The two rivers, Tigris and Euphrates. From 3500 to 539 BC, four great civilizations rose here. The Sumerians who invented writing, the Akkadians, the Babylonians under Hammurabi, and the Assyrians. In 1842, archaeologists discovered something miraculous in Nineveh, King Ashur-bani-pal's library. Thousands of clay tablets, the Epic of Gilgamesh, ancient wisdom waiting 2,500 years to be read. The Mesopotamians understood. Wisdom outlasts kingdoms. It endures longer than empires. Today, we're exploring 10 of their most profound quotes, words on righteousness, compassion, mortality, and the art of living well. These are humanity's first philosophers speaking directly to us. Quote 1. Who can compete with righteousness? It creates life. From the Sumerian Proverbs, collective wisdom from roughly 4,000 years ago. In Mesopotamian thought, righteousness wasn't just morality. It was a force. A person living with righteousness didn't just avoid wrongdoing, they created harmony with gods and society. They sustained the forces that kept the world in order. Without it, chaos returned. We frame morality negatively. Don't steal, don't lie, don't harm. But this reframes it entirely. Righteousness is creation. When you live with integrity, you're not avoiding harm. You're actively building, creating trust, creating stability, creating a world where others flourish. Think of someone in your life with real integrity. Notice how their presence creates an atmosphere where good things grow. And this leads us to how we actually build those relationships. To quote 2, a hand reaches out to a hand extended. A hand opens for an open hand. Another Sumerian proverb, preserved in the electronic text corpus of Sumerian literature. The Sumerians were traders, a world of exchange, of mutual dependence. But this is about something deeper. Reciprocity as the foundation of human connection. When you extend your hand, you're not just giving, you're creating space for receiving. Generosity is a dance. One person opens, the other responds. Think about your own life. Send kindness, and it returns. Offer help without expectation, and help finds you when you need it. This isn't magic. It's human nature. The Mesopotamians codified it 4,000 years ago. A hand opens for an open hand. Be the first to open yours. Of course, for this dance to work, there's something essential. Communication. Very related to our quote number 3. Quote 3. He who knows but does not speak is a fool. From the Instructions of Shuruppak, dated 2600 BCE, one of the oldest pieces of written literature. A father's advice to his son. Shuruppak compressed a lifetime of wisdom into practical guidance. In Mesopotamian thought, knowledge without action was useless. Worse, it was foolish. If you possess truth but remain silent when speaking could help, prevent harm, or advance justice, you've wasted that knowledge. You've made yourself complicit in ignorance. We live in an age of information overload, yet we've become increasingly silent. How many times have you known something important but said nothing? In the workplace, in your family, online. The challenge isn't to speak recklessly. It's to find courage to speak truthfully, at the right time. He who knows but does not speak is a fool. But speaking from a place of genuine goodness matters. And that requires cultivating something deep within. Quote 4. The heart does not let go of the good. Like fertile soil, it nurtures goodness. Also, from the Instructions of Shuruppak, the Mesopotamians saw the heart as the center of will, intention, character. Here's the revolution. Goodness isn't just a choice we make repeatedly. It's something we cultivate. Like a farmer prepares soil, waters it, creates conditions for growth, we prepare our hearts. Once we do that work, the heart itself becomes a source of good. The counterpoint appears elsewhere. The heart also doesn't let go of evil. That's why the first step matters. The heart learns. It becomes habituated. Breaking bad habits is difficult because you're preparing soil. Cultivating good ones requires persistence because you're reshaping your inner landscape. Speaking of choices, one of the most powerful is moderation. Quote 5. To eat little does not kill. Coveting kills. Moderation brings splendor. From the Sumerian Proverbs, eating little won't harm you, but coveting, unrestricted desire, that destroys you. Here's the paradox. When you stop reaching for more and more, you gain something real. Not wealth necessarily, but peace, satisfaction, wholeness, splendor. In ancient Mesopotamia, this was survival advice. Resources were limited. Water fluctuated. Harvests varied. The greed that led to hoarding and war. That was the real threat. Moderation kept you alive and the community intact. Today we live in a society that profits from covetousness. Advertisements create dissatisfaction. Social media engineers lack. But this whispers a different truth. What you have might be enough. The coveting, the endless wanting that kills. Not deprivation, not limitation, but perpetual lack. Moderation is about what we don't do. Our next quote is about what we actively do. To quote 6, the lion who shows compassion receives it in turn. Another Sumerian proverb. In Mesopotamian symbolism, the lion represented kingship, power, dominion, strength. But here's what they understood. True strength doesn't diminish through compassion. It magnifies. The powerful one who chooses kindness. That's the truly mighty. This operates on two levels: reciprocity, kindness returns, but also transformation. Showing compassion. When you have power, it changes you. It elevates you. It establishes you as trustworthy, worth following, worth protecting. In our lives, we have power over employees, over weak ones, our words, our attention. The measure of character isn't how you treat those more powerful. It's this: when you have power over someone, when you could dominate, do you show compassion? Because that compassion returns. It builds loyalty. It creates reputation. But power has a shadow side. And it involves humanity's oldest temptation: deception. Quote 7. As long as you live, do not multiply evil by lying. Defeat awaits the liar. Notice, you don't just tell a lie, you multiply evil. A single lie isn't isolated. It's a seed. It grows. Each lie requires another to protect it. Each false word distorts reality, makes the world unreliable. You corrupt the fabric of trust. The Mesopotamians lived where trust was absolutely necessary. Contracts carved in clay, witnessed, because without records and testimony, society couldn't function. Reputation was everything. A merchant known for honesty traded freely. A merchant known for deception found themselves isolated, unable to flourish. What's remarkable? This is taught as prevention, not punishment. The liar ultimately defeats themselves. You don't need the gods to punish you. The weight of deception, constant vigilance to maintain false stories, erosion of connection, that's the defeat. Liars are constantly afraid. They can never rest. We live in an age of misinformation and strategic deceptions. This asks, What kind of person do you want to be? Defeat awaits the liar is a promise that the universe tends toward truth. Your best strategy is genuine, reliably honest. That's victory. But we don't live alone. Quote 8. Friendship endures trouble. Posterity builds the future. From the Sumerian Proverbs, preserved in Ashurbanipal's library. Compound wisdom. Two truths held together. Friendship endures trouble. Not easy times friendship. That's unremarkable. But friendship tested by difficulty? Friendship that persists when loyalty becomes costly? That's the real thing. In the ancient world, you needed someone to vouch for you, stand beside you in conflict, speak truth to power. Friendship is the infrastructure of survival. Posterity builds the future. You won't be here forever. Your works might not last. But what you pass down, values, wisdom, your example, your children, your contribution to the next generation, that endures. That builds. That moves the world forward. Together. Cultivate deep friendships to sustain you through trouble, and do work that transcends your lifetime. Be someone worth standing beside. Be someone worth remembering. Friendship and purpose require something deeper, a spiritual foundation. To quote 9, fear of the gods brings fortune, lamentation cleanses sin, offerings prolong life. From Ashurbanipal's library collections. In Mesopotamian religion, the gods were real forces. This wasn't abstract faith. It was practical relationship with forces greater than yourself. First, fear of the gods brings fortune. Fear meant respect, reverence, awe, the healthy recognition that you're not in control of everything. There are forces beyond your will. That recognition paradoxically brings good fortune because it keeps you humble. It prevents the arrogance that destroys. It orients you toward harmony with something greater. Second, lamentation cleanses sin. Guilt suppressed festers. But guilt acknowledged, grieved fully, expressed completely, that releases. Lamentation was ritual processing, confession, the path to forgiveness. Finally, offerings prolong life. This is social technology. When you make offerings, you're acknowledging interdependence. What I have is a gift. I'm part of a larger system. That practice of generosity, acknowledgement, ritual relationship that sustains life, spiritually and socially. Now comes our final quote. From the greatest legal document of the ancient world, quote 10, to bring about the rule of righteousness in the land so that the strong shall not harm the weak. The Code of Hammurabi, approximately 1750 BCE. The prologue. King Hammurabi explaining why he carved 282 laws into stone. This is a king claiming that his entire role, his authority, his divine mandate, exists for one purpose: to ensure strength doesn't crush weakness. The oldest known written legal code in human history. And at its heart, might does not make right. Power must justify itself by protecting the vulnerable. This quote has a similar meaning of quote 6, but here it is the core motivation behind the oldest written code itself. Hammurabi claims the gods chose him to protect righteousness. He's not ruling because he won, he's ruling because he was chosen. A stunning claim in an ancient world of pure power politics. And it changed everything. Once written, once enshrined in law, it became a standard. Future kings would be measured against it. The real measure of power is what you do when no one watches. When you have power over someone weaker, what do? That's your character. That's where righteousness is tested. Kings could oppress easily, but the mandate is to use power for protection instead. 10 quotes across nearly 3,000 years carved into clay, whispered between fathers and sons, taught in schools and remembered in marketplaces. all point to one conviction. How you live matters. Your choices ripple outward. There is no situation so desperate that virtue stops counting. Righteousness creates life. Generosity returns. Compassion strengthens power. Authority should protect the weak, and what you leave to future generations is how you truly endure. These aren't just ancient ideas. They're eternal ideas, as true today as 4,000 years ago. So take one of these quotes with you this week and let it challenge you. Whether it's the lion's compassion, the fool who stays silent, the liar's defeat, or Hammurabi's mandate to shield the weak. If these voices spoke to you, please like and share the video, subscribe to Eternal Philosophies, and comment there what of those was your favorite quote.